here, and Itti Singh has a very, very interesting topic. It's something quite close to my heart. It's called making it happen. Right? So a lot of times things happen, but making it happen is what Itti is going to talk about. And Itti has a very, very interesting background. She's attended the NYU School of Professional Studies and studied the impact of digital marketing in CRM. She's going to talk about something which we all worry about, is that as customers, how much do other people know about us and how much are they using about us. Okay, so Itti is AVP, Client Solutions at Analytica Data Lab. And that's it. I'm not going to eat any further into Itti's time, and thank you.
Hi everyone. Okay, so before we get started, let me ask you one thing. All of you who shop online, or you who shop at brick and mortar retailers, or who go to hotels and eat out, in the past 1 week, how many of you have got an email or an SMS from the brands that you shop at with something that had no relevance to you? How many of you? Well, most of you actually. Because now that's what I'm going to be talking about, Customer 360, right? If you look at it, every customer wants to be treated as a separate entity. Nobody wants to be treated as a transactional customer. Everyone wants things to be experiential. I have sat at a lot of meetings. Yeah, I have sat at a lot of meetings where I have asked questions like, hey, can you tell me more about my customers? How are you so sure about the ROI of this campaign? How can I effectively spend my marketing dollars? And these are the different kind of profiles who keep asking me questions. Honestly, when I started off in this stream of marketing and customer analytics, I used to struggle to give an answer. But now I've reached a point where I've come to a panacea of all of these problems, and the panacea is actually Customer 360. Now, what is a Customer 360? Well, a Customer 360 is a 360-degree view of the customer. It helps you look at all the past, present, and future data about the customer. What do I mean by past data? Well, all the data that was about when did they last transact with us, what did they buy with us. Present is where you go into the whole mode of making better predictions about the customer. And future is, hey, is he going to come back and shop with us again? A Customer 360 degree makes sure that what you know about a customer is not just transactional, it's experiential, right? Now, here's an interesting stat. Now, I know that Manjari mentioned that, she's going to talk about how much do companies actually know about a customer. Well, here's the thing. Nearly 90% of our customers in a survey said, I don't mind sharing my information with the company if they can make relevant recommendations to me, right? So customers really don't have a problem sharing information, but they do not like when we don't use that information effectively. Yeah. Now moving on. So as I was saying, the three key benefits of Customer 360 are you get better customer intelligence, you start making much more relevant customer predictions, and you get customer alignment. Now, why is customer alignment important? Well, if you think about it, we don't want a situation where we are not able to align our company's resources towards the most fruitful customers. Why am I spending $100 on everybody when I can spend $100 on the 5 people who are going to give me $5,000, right? That's a better ROI. So I'm going to go do that. But there are lots of companies who are spending $100 on everybody, right? And that's why we need a Customer 360. But before we get jumping into let's go build a Customer 360, there are certain problems that actually exist in Customer 360. Do you know, in a recent survey, which was 2015, but even now in 2020, I pulled up the latest digital marketing report, nearly 89% marketers said they cannot create a single view of a customer. In 2020, this number is 81%. 81% marketers are still saying, I am unable to create a single view of a customer. So how am I going to go create a Customer 360? Now, why unable to create a single view? Well, there are some reasons. First is data silos. How many of us are working in big organizations with a lot of ERP systems, their CRM systems, etc., etc.? Quite a few of us, right? There are data in silos. There's customer data, one customer data which talks about transaction. There's a CRM data which talks about customers' loyalty points. There's a third data set which is online data. You cannot connect these data sets. And if you cannot connect these data sets, then how do you go about creating a single customer view? Well, there are a lot of customer data platforms that are already doing it. Oh, can you go back once?
Already open.
Yeah. Apart from that, there is just very bad data quality as well, right? Any one of us who works with ERP systems, CRM systems, and I know ma'am over here is going to be talking about how bad address quality is in India. Well, that's the case everywhere. Address quality is really bad, right? So one of the key things that we need to work with is poor data quality, and finally, how am I able to link these data? The good thing is there are very beautiful customer data platforms available that can actually help you create this single record. But customer data platforms are expensive. So how do I go to that point where I can actually convince my company, let's invest in customer data platform so that we can create customer 360, so that we can personalize everything for our customers, right? Well, here's what we do. We start off with the cleanest data set. We identify, and this will generally be maybe your transaction data set and your loyalty data sets. We try to identify a common key, and then we start looking, and this common key can be as simple as a phone number or an email ID. You're not going to get 100% match, but that's fine. Start off, because if you don't start off, you're never going to reach the end of customer 360. Then you go on, iteratively start adding newer data sources. You deliver a business relevant use case. Now I'm going to touch on these business relevant use cases in a little bit, but after you do that, you again go back and enrich your customer profile with the use case data and repeat this process, right? So from maybe in a year or so, you will reach maybe from 0 degrees to 45 or 90 degrees, but better late than never, right? And once you've reached 90 degrees, trust me, your company will be more than happy to go and spend on that CDP. And here's the interesting thing. All companies that have actually invested in personalization, within the first year, they've seen a 3x growth in their incremental revenue from marketing campaigns. Any campaign that delivers through personalized content, or any campaign that is segmented for customers, gives you a 760% lift. Now, for all of the non-marketers here, lift is basically the incremental that you're going to do by running this campaign. Had you not run this campaign, things would have happened normally. By doing something, you got a lift. Now imagine a 760% lift. That's fabulous. Every marketer wants it. Every business head wants it. Every customer experience guy wants it. All right. Now, I was saying I'm going to talk about business relevant use cases. So some of the ones that I'm going to talk about is targeted marketing and personalization. All of you know what's personalization. Is there anyone in this room who does not know personalization? Yes, sir. So personalization is basically delivering content that is personal to you. You want to be treated as a person. You don't want to be treated as another number. Yes? Sorry?
Do people know what they are?
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping you know what you are, otherwise we have other problems. But you know what? Here's how you can deliver personalization. You can start doing customer micro-segmentation. You can start working on next best offers, propensity-based campaigns, geolocation analysis, and recommendation models. Now, I'm not going to go and tell you exactly what technique to use, because all of you are data scientists, you know what technique to use. Why did I talk about these business use cases? Because this is how you get started. This is how you start interesting your business in saying, hey, let's build more information about our customer. Let's have a single record for our customers. And this is how you get them started. So you can start off on personalization. The next set of use cases are on churn prevention and customer retention. How many of you used to shop at a brand but now have moved on? Lots of you, right? Well, that is churn. If the brand is smart enough, he'll stop you from churning. I see this that, I love Swiggy. 2 weeks I don't eat on Swiggy, they start sending me offers, right? And all of you who use Swiggy know this happens. That is churn prevention. Very classic example of churn prevention. And every company cares about this. From a hospital to a hotel to everyone. Everyone cares about this. We want to know customer lifetime value as well, sorry, right? And seasonal churn is something that's very interesting. May not happen so much in India, but in a lot of other countries, we see seasonal churn. That is, people buy winter boots only when it's snowing, right? Why would you buy winter boots randomly? So that is seasonal churn, and we need to be able to identify seasonal customers so you don't start spending money on them, right? Why will I not take an offer to buy winter boots at half the cost? Of course, I'll buy it in summers as well, but you need to identify their seasonal shoppers. Sentiment analytics and price elasticity impact and modeling. So sentiment is, well, if you know that, happy, sad, whatever. Price elasticity impact, what I mean by this is, for every rupee that you increase the price of a product, there is an impact on customers. There are some customers who are very price conscious. You want to ensure that you can continue to reach out to those customers, and you have to realize that if I have to take a hike, what's going to be the loss, right? And finally, proactive servicing. Now, what is proactive servicing is basically, this is a very interesting stat. In fact, I just read about this morning. Based on a certain report, they've seen a nearly 200% growth in call to actions that were personalized rather than standard call to actions. So basically, you call up a customer and you say, hello madam, are you interested in buying XYZ? She's not interested, and that's a loss. But what if I knew everything about the customer and then I made a recommendation? When companies started doing that, we are seeing a 200% growth in revenue through those campaigns. And these are just phenomenal numbers. So when you look at it, this is what you want to do. You want to be able to proactively service your customers so that they don't leave you and they're happy with you, and eventually they become your referrals. And you want your customer 360 to actually capture all of this information so that you can go ahead and really figure out how do you want to reach out to every customer. Finally, what makes me so confident this strategy works? Well, I've been in customer and marketing analytics for the past 13 years. I have worked with some of the largest US brands, some of the largest Indian brands. I have set up customer 360 and marketing analytics for one of India's largest retailer. And trust me, when I say this, I have been able to deliver through understanding their use cases, making them realize there is value in developing customer golden records, and then taking them through the journey. But here's the deal, this is a journey. Everyone calls it customer 360. But at the end of the day, after spending 3 years at one of my retailers, we realized we had just moved from 0 to 180. There's still another 188 degrees to go. So this is a very long journey. You have to be committed, but the rewards at the end of this journey are fabulous. And all through this journey, what you're going to basically realize is marketing is one of the funnest places to be if you want to apply AI and ML, because you will get 100 options and you will get a lot of money from all your business heads because they all want to get the biggest bang for the buck. That's right. I finally want to end with this quote. There is only one boss, the customer, right? Don't ever forget that. For all of you who have their own startups, for all of you who are working with companies, for all of you who are B2B or B2C, there is only one customer. You need to know everything about that customer, because that customer can go somewhere else, spend all of his money there, and that's that. All right, thank you guys.